Good evening, class. Today I will present my first defined topic, and I'm going to start with the Second World War, starting with Hitler's rise to power in 1933. Well, let's see. Well, pretty much the politicians. Um, so what happened was the German politicians thought that they could control Hitler, which you know which does not seem the case, which did not seem the case. And so Hitler became chancellor, with Franz von Papen as the vice chancellor. Which, making Hitler the chancellor will be one of their biggest mistakes they would ever do. Um, and immediately, once Hitler gets elected, he introduces censorship and he starts doing he starts putting his ideas into motion. He does not waste time. And you can see right here on March 5th, the Nazis banned the communists. And March 24th, he passes the Enabling Act, which made him dictator for pretty much the next 4 years, guaranteed. After banning other parties, the NSDAP, which is Hitler's political party, becomes the only one left in Germany. And I think that's when they realized, oh, what did we do? In 1934, Hindenburg dies and he merges the position of Chancellor and President together for his own gain, and he becomes the supreme leader of Nazi Germany. Not just the Chancellor, but the leader of Nazi Germany. So he rules Germany, and he becomes a dictator. Uh, and that's it for the beginning of Hitler's rise to power. For this website, .co.com, which they show how Hitler got into power. Next up, we'll go to another website, which is the trustyhistory.com, and now we'll go to Hitler's attacks, his reign. Well, in late 1939, Hitler and the Soviet Union leader Joseph Stalin, which is another bad person. They joined forces and they signed the German-Soviet Non-Aggression Pact, which just worried Great Britain and the country of France, not the state, the country of France even more. And so Hitler's long evil plan was invasion, starting with Poland, a country which supported Britain and France with military support. And so, 2 days later, Hitler will soon invade Poland. And, that's when Britain and France finally decided to declare war on Germany, which officially began World War II. Poland fell quick, and by 1940, the German and Soviet Union had control over Poland. Right here, they explain how the Soviet troops and Germans, attacked Poland in detail. Here, we go into detail how Hitler and the Soviet Union, well, mostly, Germany, right? Germany did most of the destruction here. they show in detail how Germany invaded other countries and how he joins forces with Italy's dictator Benito Mussolini. And, of course, one of them would declare war against each other, and it was Italy who declared war against France and Britain. And for the next page, I chose encyclopedia.org. And there's a thing called Holocaust Encyclopedia, in which you can find a lot of things, dealing with World War II. And what I chose is pretty much the German invasions in detail from 1939 to 1942. And here we see Germany pretty much invading everything that's close to it. Everything, you see, France, Poland, of course, right? Hungary, Yugoslavia. And during the war, Hitler and Nazi Germany wanted to defeat all their rivals and opponents in a series of short missions in Europe. Using this strategy, Germany quickly took over most of Europe and were successful for more than 2 years. During Hitler's reign, Germany overran Denmark, which is right here. This is Denmark. Norway, Belgium, which is right here, this tiny little country right here. Then he overran the Netherlands, which is right up here. Luxembourg is right here, like where my cursor's at. It's very tiny. It's covered by the arrow. But yeah, he probably took over that really quick. Yugoslavia, which is right here. Greece is down here. And of course, the most infamous one is France, in which when he attacked France, Italy got a little self-confident, and that's when Italy finally joined forces with Germany. And at the time, the Soviet Union. Even with all the power that Germany had, they couldn't get into Great Britain. Since Britain, was an island and it was protected by ground attacks, by the English Channel and the Royal Navy. A month after the last invasion, Germany decided to betray and invade the Soviet Union, but were unable to defeat the powerful nation. And so the Soviet Union and Joseph Stalin joined forces with Great Britain and the United States, which eventually became the Allied forces, and they turned the tables on Germany and eventually defeated the Axis powers in 1945. And if you want to find out more about the Allied powers, the Allied forces would include the United States, Great Britain, and of course the Soviet Union, which turned its back on Germany and the Axis powers, which became Germany, Italy, and Japan. Sorry about that, guys. My computer ran out of space, so here I am on my phone. And what I wanted to say is that you can go to Holocaust Encyclopedia and search up everything you want for World War II, including the Allied forces and important events such as when the United States joined the war due to the events at Pearl Harbor. You can see World War II in the Pacific, right? And you can also search up the Axis powers, in which you can find every single detail that you can find about World War II, especially the Axis alliance in World War II, which is a very interesting one, in which instead of the Soviet Union, which they left for the Allied forces, you can see here where they joined forces with Japan and Italy.